Hi, welcome to the webinar session dedicated to the SR safety interface and safety relay. Today, we will see our part of portfolio dedicated to the safety relay and how to properly integrate them and how they are integrated with the safety devices. You know that we have safety devices that are able to reach highest category level. Then the ISR safety relay safety interface are components that fulfill that gap between safety operation and safety devices. So you can put these interfaces between your safety device and the circuit of your machine. So let's jump into the first SR interface, the SR0. So this particular interface is used with safety devices that have devices that have OSSD signal plus EDM control and manual or automatic reset that we can translate into some integrated function. Based on that, sorry, because the presentation didn't start. This is the new interface. So again, the SR0 is used with device with OSSD output with integrated function like the EDM controller reset, manual reset on it. What you can also do is to directly connect the signal to the SR0. Like in this case, you can connect the feedback input. As you can see here, you have the K1, K2 feedback inputs, and you can also supply directly from the safety relay, and the series of the two relays are given here in as an output to the safety device. In this case, you can connect every safety device with integrated function like EDM or manual reset. On pin number 5 and 6, you have the inputs where you physically connect the OSSD output from the safety device to the safety interface. Plus, you have two normally open contacts plus one normally closed contact. The combination between the safety device in category 4 plus this SR0, the combination of this is the complete set for a category 4 application. So by using, for example, our EOS, our light curtain, a type 4 light curtain plus the SR0, then you can reach the category 4. So you can mount in an application that requires performance level E. You can go ahead and see the SR0A that has the same philosophy of the SR0, but without the normally closed contacts. So this interface is basically the same without one normally closed contact. Why you have to mount the SR0 or the SR0A? This depends on the fact that if you need another signal, a normally closed signal or not, because you have also you have to consider the electrical diagram that we have inside the module, the interface. So if you need one more normally closed contacts, then you can go with the SR0. If you don't need, if you just need to connect the normally open contacts to drive the actuator or to go into external contacts, then you can go with the SR0A. Differently from the SR0, the SR1 has only as the OSSD input like the other one, like the other two interface, but the feedback control and the manual reset, so the behavior of the contacts depends on the configuration of the interface itself. So as you can see here, we have the manual or automatic selection. So based on how you are going to wire those wires, those two inputs, then you will decide the behavior of the contact. So if you want to do the automatic reset like this example or the manual reset. And the manual reset, the reset button would be connected to pin number 4. Like other interface that we have in our portfolio, we can connect the normally closed contacts, so the feedback contacts, directly to pin 11. So the module itself is in charge to check the feedback contacts and the switching of these feedback contacts based on the inputs and based on the time. Here on pin 7 and 8, you can see the inputs, the OSSD inputs. The SR1M is basically the same of the SR1 plus the muting integrated function. So in order to do a muting logic with two sensor across a beam, for example, that is one of the most common muting logic, then the SR1M is the right solution. Of course, again, you have to connect the light curtain, sensor, and interface. We have dedicated inputs with dedicated functions. So we have sensor 1 and 2, where you are going to connect your muting sensors, the timeout selection. So based on the wiring of timeout 1 and timeout 2, you will decide the muting timeout. Override inputs, so you will connect your key command with spring return, the muting lamp, where you can connect a muting lamp, or you can also connect the muting signal in order to send this information to a PLC, or just to know if the interface is in muting or not. The muting enable, we will see the information about the muting enable during the webinar dedicated to the SafeGate, that is our safety light curtains with muting integrated function. But what is important is that in order to consider sensor 1 and sensor 2, you need to wire an external sensor, an external signal to muting enable in order to enable the muting. If you don't use it, then you have to short circuit with the system status. Then the contacts, and again, input and reset input, restart input, dedicated, because every interface has the integrated function of automatic or manual reset and feedback control. Then we have the SRX, and the SRX is a dedicated interface for type 2 photocell. So if you have a type 2 photocell, single beam photocell, then you can use the SRX in order to have two normally open contacts in order to drive some actuators in a category 2 application, in a performance level C application. Here, as you can see, we send the test from the interface directly to the emitter. And to the emitter test input, you will see see the light from the emitter to the receiver to a certain frequency. This frequency is internally converted into an output, and the output itself is connected to the interface. So once you close this loop, then you can reach category 2. Also, this interface has the manual or automatic reset plus the feedback control. This is, for example, the manual reset application. The SRXM is the same as the SRX, but with muting integrated function. So again, we have sensor 1, sensor 2, that you can connect directly to the interface. Then you can connect the type 2 photocell directly to the interface. The interface itself is a single purpose interface, but this single purpose interface based on the application allows you to reach the desired category level. So if you have a type 2 photocell, a type 2 application, a performance level C application, that's the right solution. Of course, if you don't need a safety controller, the reset input, the feedback contacts is always present also on that interface. The SRE4 is used for emergency stop button or interlock switches, maybe for door. And also in this case, for category 4 application, this is an example. This is a category 4 safety guard command plus the manual reset. Everything is already built inside those interface. So what you have to do is to wire them properly without any particular configuration. So again, once you have to manage the emergency stop or the safety guard from a particular interface without any software, but only through the wiring, you can go with the SRE4. The SRE4, the only configuration is related to the reset. So if you need the manual reset or the automatic reset. For the manual reset, you can do like the example like this. So you can put your your reset button between 24-volt and reset input. If you need the automatic reset, then you can connect the 24-volt directly to pin number 4. Again, the feedback contacts. As you can see, we integrate also the output test. When we say output test, and we already spoke about this during the Mosaic webinar that I suggest you to go and see the Mosaic webinar, the output test is a trigger signal that you can use to check the presence of a short circuit or overload, overcurrent on an electromechanical contacts. And this function also increase the diagnostic coverage on the device, so on the safety guard, on the emergency stop, on the interlock switches, and by increasing also the diagnostic coverage, you can also increase your performance level. Then, you can supply the contact from the output test, and you close the loop by connecting the output test to the contact and the contacts to the inputs present on the SRE4. The SRE4R is more or less the same like the SRE4, but only with the manual reset. You cannot connect the reset input to 24-volt. This will go in fail. And again, we have the output test, the input, and the feedback contacts that you can, in order to check the external device. So that is also called EDM, so the external device monitoring. In case of a two-hands control based on the EN574 type 3C, we can use the SRT that is used for a two-hands control with switching contacts. And again, in this case, we have specific output tests with specific inputs, and then you can control the logic of a two-hands control. And the interface itself will check if you press both contacts at the same time. So it will check also the simultaneity of the contacts. So now let me prepare a small presentation of the very best. So the SR select. The SR Select is like having in one interface all the functions that I show you now. So you can connect OSSD device, electromechanical contacts, electromechanical switches, and RFID Type 2 photocell, two hands control with only one interface. So from a technical point of view, you just need to uh, turn the rotary switch here that you can see here, and that switch is also able to select the, sorry, oh, okay, is able to select the behavior of the interface. So every interface has the input signal, the fail, and the status of the contacts. As I said, only by turning this. So from the technical point of view, you just need to connect by following the electrical diagram, by following what you what you are going to connect, and then turn the rotary switch position. From the commercial point of view, you don't need anything different than this SR select, because if you have one of the operating mode that we described here, so an OSSD double input, automatic reset, or manual reset, the emergency stop function, or the gate monitoring with manual or automatic reset, if you have a two hands control, a type 2 photocell, with one code, you are able to manage the signal from all these devices. So in case you have light curtains, in case you have RFIDs, in case you have Ilion or Ulisse that are our type 2 photocell, or any kind of two hands control based on the fact that it's a changeover contact or a normally open context, we can manage it by using only one code, not all at the same time, because the SR Select is a one purpose interface but multifunction. So one SR Select, one safety light curtain, one SR Select, one emergency stop function, type 2 photocell plus one SR Select. But at the end, you can do every safety function with one SR Select, with one interface. So again, as you can see, the only stuff that you have to do is to turn that trimmer, that rotary switch position. And in that case, you just connect the wires, turn the switch, and that's it. If now you have no questions, or if you want to talk about an application, you can also write to aftersales@reer.it. Okay. In the meantime, maybe you need to write and to consider something. Invite you. I want to invite you to the next webinar that will be in October, that will be related to EOS. And you will see how to properly integrate also EOS light curtain with controllers, with safety interface, with safety relay, integrated function, the meaning of integrated function on the EOS, and also if you have something, maybe you have something more to discover about the about what a safety light curtain can do. So please, I suggest you to register to the next webinar in order to discover something about safety light curtains in general, and about what we can offer as a solution. You will find also this webinar session on our on our website. So at any time you can discover also again and again something about our safety interface. Thank you for your attention. I invite you again to the next webinar, and you will see also the practical part with the safety light curtains and see some features about that. Thank you.